to yourself. Give me 1 minute, please, while because I'm doing this streaming thing, I'm coming in on a few different platforms. I have to check if I'm, in the right place with them all. We're going to get to the meditation. It's coming. 15-minute meditation. It's coming. Just have to check that I am coming through loud and clear on Facebook. Looks like I am. Just give me 1 sec so I can see all the people who are coming in. All right, up and running. Brilliant. Right, how are you? How's it going? How's the day going? You well? Everything going okay? It's all right if it's not. I hope it's going well. But, Right, time for a bit of meditation. I meditate throughout the day. This is just the one I do on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube simultaneously. So if you're, it's not a class, it's just a chance to meditate together. So if you're used to meditating, that's brilliant. If you could just hang on for a minute, I'd just like to explain what I do just for the benefit of people who are new to meditation. Because meditation is one of those funny things that people are almost embarrassed that they don't know how to do it. They're very reluctant to kind of say anything. Because people say to me, quietly, what do you actually do, So there's lots of different styles of meditation. This is just what I do. For me, it starts with why I would meditate, because I don't really have much self-control, and I've been meditating for 30 years, so I have to have a pretty good reason. I'm trying to connect with the part of myself that I connect to every night. Not the dreaming bit when I'm asleep, not the dreaming bit, the bit after dreaming. So I dream for a while, and I drop out the bottom of dreaming into deep dreamless sleep. That's the bit I'm interested in, because I've no body, I've got no thoughts, I've got no memory. I sort of cease to exist in the way that I normally register I exist, which sounds terrible, sounds like death. And yet I love going to sleep. And when I wake up in the morning, I feel refreshed. So some part of me knows that that is a good place. And that's the place I want to connect to in meditation. I just want to do it consciously. So as I say, no thoughts there. So I have to figure out a way to deal with my mind, because my mind can't seem to get there. So I have to figure out a way to get beyond it, or I could think of it as like parting the curtains of my mind to get there. So I make a little arrangement with my mind where I kind of go, hey, could you just not think for the next 15 minutes while I do some meditation? And my mind is pretty on board for the whole thing. It's like, yep, okay, that's fine. I can do that. No problem. So that's good. And then to stop thinking, that's relatively easy, because regardless of what triggers the thoughts, the structure of the thoughts themselves are just pictures and sound. So if I turn off the pictures and I turn off the sound, that's it. I'm not thinking. So that's good. And as soon as I do that, I'm into the practice of meditation. So what I talked about earlier on about the going to this deep, mysterious place, that's my intention. Right? That's the intention of my meditation. The practice of my meditation runs parallel with that. And it pretty much goes like, I'll stop thinking, I'll turn off the pictures, I turn off the sound. Then a little bit of time passes and I discover that I'm thinking again. So I go, oh, I'm thinking again. So I turn off the pictures and I turn off the sound. Then a little bit more time passes, I discover I'm thinking again. So I go, oh, turn off the pictures and I turn off the sound. And so on, so on. I keep bringing my mind back to not thinking. That's the practice of meditation. Now, I'll just tell you that if you're new to meditation, because it's quite easy to get the idea that, particularly when you read about meditation, that your mind is like this lake and there shouldn't be a ripple of thought across it for the whole time that you're meditating. And if you're thinking at all, you're doing it wrong. And that's not true at all. Because I've had people say things to me like, no, I tried meditation. No, I just was thinking a lot the whole time. I think I've got a very busy mind. It's not really my thing. Which is sad, because nobody's mind is any more busy than anybody else's mind. It's just not known about how these two things go together. So the practice of meditation is keep bringing my mind back to not thinking. Because that's where the real power is. I mean, you have times in the course of the meditation where you will have that stillness and peace and calm that you read about. But the fact that you continually bring your mind back from not thinking is very powerful as well. Because the things I think about when I'm meditating, or that I find my mind thinking about, they're all very personal to me. I think I'm very invested in them. What am I going to do about that thing? So the fact that I keep, as soon as I realize that I'm thinking, I'm just going to turn off the pictures, turn off the sounds. Indirectly, I'm saying to myself, You know that thought you were having that you were really invested in that you thought was you? Well, you just erase that thought. So you're not those thoughts. You're something else. That's pretty powerful. And the fact that you do that repeatedly, that's very powerful as well. So if you find that you're thinking a lot, that's fine. Just keep bringing your mind back to not thinking. You're doing great. Now, while all that is going on, I'm also letting go of any tension that I find in my body. And I have a system for that because it's too vague. When I close my eyes, it's too vague to not have a system. So I'm sort of scanning my body from my head down to my feet, back up again, very slowly, very gently. Anywhere I find tension, I'm letting it go. And I use my out breath to let it go because it's natural to just let it go like that. But it's also a good way to remember to breathe because it's quite easy to hold your breath in meditation or to stop breathing altogether. So I use my out breath. Now, as I'm scanning my body up and down for any tension, I'm paying particular attention to any areas in my body that go crossways, like transverse. Mostly my body runs longitudinally. Anywhere that goes across has a tendency to accumulate tension. A little bit like a log going across a stream. You know, it picks up all the twigs and the branches and the leaves. Well, transverse structures in my body do the same with tension. So I'm paying particular attention to my eyes, my jaw, my tongue, my base of my neck, my shoulder girdle. All my joints, they're all transverse as well. So my shoulders, elbows, wrists, fingers, my heart area, my respiratory diaphragm, all my intestines, my pelvic floor, my hips, my knees, my ankles and my toes. So anywhere I find tension, just let it go with the out breath. Again, if you're new to meditation, nice quiet room is really helpful because as soon as you close your eyes, all your other senses become heightened. And one of the things that triggers thoughts is little noises. So a quiet room where you're not going to be disturbed. I'd encourage you to sit up. Don't try and meditate lying down if you're starting out because you'll lie down, your body will go, I'm lying down, I've got my eyes closed. It's sleep time. So you'll either fall asleep. Not that there's anything wrong with going to sleep, but the idea is to go into this mysterious, beautiful place consciously, not unconsciously. So you'll either fall asleep or you'll battle sleep, which is very distracting as well. So yeah, sit up. You don't have to sit in any special lotus position or anything like that unless you're comfortable doing that. I'm just sitting on a chair. But yeah, sitting up is very helpful. Don't sit in a really comfy chair either. That'll make you fall asleep. I set a timer for how long I'm going to meditate for. That's again it's just one less thing for my mind to think about. If you're new, I'm going to set mine for 15 minutes. If you're new, I'd encourage you to set yours for shorter. Set it for like 5 minutes and then repeat that 3 times. Because 15 minutes is a long time if you're not used to it. And around the 7-minute mark, you'll start thinking about the time that you didn't turn it on, you didn't turn your timer on properly, or something like that. So yeah, 5 minutes and then just repeat that 3 times. All right, now, any questions? Nope, good. All right, off we go then into the mystery. Okay, so if you feel like you've gone very deeply inside yourself and you need to take a bit of time to come back, that's fine. Do that before you open your eyes. Or if you feel like you can hold the inner space and the outer space at the same time, then just open your eyes. Okay, Matab says it's very difficult to stay still. Yeah, but the thing is, you're not, you don't need to get into a fight with yourself about it. Just every time you realize that you're thinking, just bring yourself back. And then it's not difficult. It's just, you might have to do that many times. Like, I don't count really how many times I bring my mind back. Could be 100 times. It doesn't matter. Every time you do it, it's very powerful. So, yeah. Don't be concerned that it's difficult to stay still. Just keep bringing your mind back. It's only 15 minutes, And if you just do the 5-minute timer, it's only 5 minutes 3 times. Okay, so thanks for meditating with me. This is all part of the further emergence work I do. So if you want more of that, there's on Facebook, there's a Further Emergence Facebook page that's just dedicated to that. On Instagram, there's an Instagram Further Emergence. I think I'm on LinkedIn as well, Further Emergence. So yeah, what Further Emergence is if you're in the process of inner growth that just can feel very disorienting. It can be like you wake up one day and go, what's going on in my life? How did I end up here? What happened? You could call it spiritual growth. You could call it personal growth. It can be a disorienting process. So that's what the Further Emergence work I do is all about. So if you want more of that, go and look at the different pages. Okay, so thanks again, and see you tomorrow for some more meditation. All right, bye.